Global happenings today. We communicate. We analyze global news. As Nigerian government is doing everything in its power to see how it can trash or distance itself from the allegation leveled against it by Donald Trump, which has also resulted or may result in United States Army invading Nigeria and stepping into Nigeria to handle the issue of Islamic terrorism in the country. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the IPOB leader who had been in prison for as long as 5 years, not prison really, but in DSS detention, has sent a strong message out to Donald Trump. And I tell you the truth that this is like consolidating on what is currently trending, which is the issue of genocide going on in, which is believed to have happened in Nigeria. And he took out time to write 4-page letter and send it across to Donald Trump. No one can tell what will come out from there, but I'm going to give you full details of what he has to tell Donald Trump. Let's look at the content of his letter. After addressing Donald Trump, recognizing that he's the 47th president of the United States of America and all of that, he wrote, and I'm going to read part of this letter. He says, "Your Excellency, I extend warm greetings to you in the name of Jew-Christian faith and value we both hold dear. As a practicing Jew and a believer in the Jew-Christian heritage that shaped Western civilization, I was honored to attend your campaign event in Des Moines, Iowa in January 2020. Your bold declaration on October 31st, 2025 that the United States is preparing to act militarily and cut heads if Nigeria fails to protect its Christian population has ignited hope in the hearts of millions who have been abandoned by the world. You have seen the truth. Christians in Nigeria face an existential threat. I write to you now to reveal that this genocide is not confined to the north. It has metastasized into the Igbo heartland where Judeo-Christians are being systematically exterminated under the guise of counter-terrorism. I am Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, a peaceful, non-violent civil rights movement rooted in Jew-Christian principles. Since 2015, I have survived 4 documented assassination attempts by the Nigerian state. On 20th June 2021, I was forcibly abducted from Kenya in an extraordinary rendition operation, an act that violated Kenyan and international law as condemned by Kenyan High Court petition number E282 of 2021. Despite this ruling, I was illegally transported to Nigeria and thrown into solitary detention in Abuja without a valid proscribing charge and for the sole crime of defending my people's right to life, faith, and self-determination under international law. On 13 October 2022, the Court of Appeal in Abuja discharged and acquitted me of all charges, ruling that my rendition was illegal, unconstitutional, and a gross violation of international law. The court ordered my immediate and unconditional release, yet I remain in solitary detention over 1,596 days since my abduction. The Nigerian government defied its own judiciary, refusing to release me as ordered. I was never released, so there was no rearrest, only continued unlawful imprisonment in blatant violation of constitutionally protected double jeopardy safeguard under Section 36, subsection 9 of the 1999 Constitution and Article 7, subsection 2 of the African Charter. The UN Working Group on Arbitrary Detention declared my continued imprisonment arbitrary, unlawful, and politically motivated. It is not justice. This is state capture of the rule of law to silence a Judeo-Christian voice. A hidden war against Judeo-Christian in eastern Nigeria. The same extremist-backed forces you have announced or you have condemned in North as Boko Haram, ISWAP, and Fulani militia operates with state complexity in the southeast and Igbo-speaking territories of Benue, Kogi, and Delta. But here, the Nigerian military itself is the primary perpetrator, shielded by a false narrative that blames victim. These atrocities are irrefutably documented. He now started listing different places where things had happened. Started up with Biafra Hero Day. He listed almost like 5 of the major events that have taken place, which Amnesty International was fully in the know. He now said that the architect of this crime, he mentioned the names of those involved. Lieutenant Colonel Tokyo Yusuf Brutai, former chief of army staff in 2021, President Buhari appointed him ambassador to Benin, granting him diplomatic immunity to evade ICC prosecution. This is state-sponsored impunity on a scale. Weaponization of insecurity to demonize IPOB. Since my illegal rendition, Nigeria has declared IPOB a terrorist organization despite zero evidence of violence confirmed by the U.S. State Department 2021 orchestrated unknown gunmen attack under state-backed militia. Then blame IPOB. Mention some other things that are involved in it. But then let's look at what he's asking the president to do. He said, in closing, Mr. President, history will judge us by what we do. When genocide knocks, you have the power to stop second rounder in Africa. One tweet, one sanction, one inquiry could save millions. I remain steadfast in peace, faith, and non-violence, even from a prison cell. IPOB rejects every form of violence. We seek only justice, truth, and freedom. May the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who delivered Israel from Pharaoh, grant you wisdom and courage to deliver his people once again with deepest respect and urgent hope. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, leader, indigenous people of Biafra IPOB, prisoner of conscience, DSS custody, Abuja, discharged by Court of Appeal, 13 October 2022, release order disobeyed. 4-time survivor of state assassination. Wow. It's a tough one here, I must say. It took our time to write so much in detail. I don't know what's going to be happening right now, considering the fact that this kind of stinker has been rolled out by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, as much as we have our different position to it. But I would say this is very well articulated, and I don't know what will happen with this kind of. That's why, cases like this should be settled once and for all, for Nigeria to have the peace that it deserves. So many Nigerians have come out now to start talking, and someone like him, prison cell, the fact that he was extraordinarily rendition to Nigeria, and the fact that international court have said 1 or 2 things about it. I don't know what this will actually mean, but or what this will translate to, and I don't also know if President Donald Trump would give ears to this. But I think that as much as it lies on the shoulders of Nigerian leaders, we should do what is needful for this country to continue in peace. We can't just continue, like this. Coming from Kanu, I would tell you that someone like Trump, listening and hearing details of this, if he has the time for it, will go an extra mile in concretizing this, because if investigation is launched into it, with the fact that we also have someone very reputable, a reputable lawyer who is his attorney in the United States of America, talking about Bruce Fein. If he sees this kind of letter speedily, he will jump into action, and if called upon to give insight on this, I tell you, he will say something. So I think that Bola Tinubu should do the needful. I don't know what your position is, but let's interact in the conversation and talk more on this.